if you don't know who I am, or you weren't listening or paying attention there to the big man, here's a wee bit distracting. My name is Jen. Jen. Right, sorry, that was a wee bit aggressive to start with, but what the thing is that a lot of people think I'm saying my name's Jan, Jan, and it's not, it's Jen, Jen. And if you don't nip these things in the bud, then before you know it, Guy in Finance has been saying, "Good morning, Jan," every day for the last 3 years. So, a wee bit of info about me. What would you say? Like, I am, like, awkward as fuck. First impressions of me are awful. Really bad. Like, if I wasn't me and I met me, I'd be like, do not engage. What I will say is, like, I think I grow on people. Like, you need to meet me a few times, well, like a lot of times, before you're like, she's alright. So I'm probably like a grower, not a shower. No, I think that's something else. But the rest in bitch face doesn't help the first impressions either. So, like, I quite often think I'm smiling, or at least have like a pleasant, neutral expression. And then I'll catch my reflection in a window. I'm like, Jesus fuck, what's wrong with you? The first impressions are not great, and like a nightmare situation for me is hearing the words, "Let's go round the room, introduce ourselves and share a fun or interesting fact." And no matter how many times that happens to me, mind blank, I become the dullest, most uninteresting, least fun person to have ever walked the earth. One time it got to me and I said, "Hi, I'm Jen, and a fun fact about me, I'm obsessed with Special K." What the fuck? I wasn't even talking about ketamine. I was literally just saying, "Hey, I love a really average bowl of cereal." Like networking events, terrible at those. Like, I'll normally hover about like a wee creep about, and two people will be talking, and I'll stand weirdly close to them. One of them will swiftly make their excuses and leave, and I'll be left to have a conversation with the other one. I don't know if you call it a conversation, that tends to be like a two-way thing. But I'll give you a wee tip if you're like me, God help you. But I always like to have a drink in my hand at these things. So, you know, you can take a wee drink. I love water. Do you? Yeah, you can thank me later for that one. And the only thing worse than starting a conversation for me is ending it, which usually just involves me backing away, mumbling something about being thirsty. It's nice to get out of the office at those things. You know, I like to be overwhelmed in different places. Just be overwhelmed out of the office, overwhelmed in the office. Like, you know, when you're at work and you're like, "Oh my God, I've got so much to do. I don't even know where to start. I'm so busy. I don't know what to do." And you just need to take a wee moment. Just take a deep breath. Think about it think for a second. Right, okay. I wonder how long gerbils are pregnant for. The phone's out. Gerbil gestation period. It's about 25 days, and actually gerbils can have like between 1 and 8 babies. Sometimes they can have 12, and I don't know about you, but 8 gerbils being inside one gerbil? Mind blown. Before you know it, you're down a gerbil hole, and that work is just piling up. A lot about a person from their Google searching, that and their Amazon order list. So I recently picked up my wife's phone, not because I was checking up on her or anything, nothing like that. Her phone was just closer than mine, and I urgently needed to find out the length of a gerbil's tail. About 10 centimetres, 4 inches. So I picked up her phone, and that can be dangerous. Like looking at your partner's phone, seeing what they've been Googling. So I picked And the last thing that she had Googled was Colin and Justin. Remember those guys? Yeah. So they were a Scottish couple, big on like daytime TV in like the early noughties, interior designers. Well, she obviously was overwhelmed at work one day and thought, well, you were Colin and Justin. But she obviously did not get the required information because the next thing that she Googled was Colin and Justin 2024. So my wife and I, Barry, have been together a long time, maybe nearly 20 years, married nearly 10, and I often know what she's thinking before she even knows what she's thinking. But even now, there's sometimes that you just don't know what's going on up there. And we were just sitting down to dinner, and we just sat down, and she had this look of intense worry on her face. And I was like, what's wrong with her? And then I had this intrusive thought, like, oh my God, what if she's about to tell me she doesn't love me anymore? So I eventually plucked up the courage to say, Barry, is everything all right? And she said, and she paused, and let me tell you, that 2 seconds was the longest 2 seconds of my life. And she said, I was just thinking about the last time I was in the hairdresser's. And the hairdresser was in the middle of doing my hair. And then a big dog came in. And the hairdresser went out the back. And she came back through. She had a packet of cold meat. And she started feeding the dog the cold meat. And I was really worried that she was going to put her hand in the dog hands through my hair. I mean, thinking back now, she definitely did look positively fetching. Got one more story for you. I don't know if you've ever been ghosted by a handyman or woman. I have, by both, several times. But I think it's quite a common thing to happen, like that people get ghosted by workmen. But I always, when it happens to me, I always think that we've been getting on really well. And I'll be thinking, this conversation isn't even that awkward. We're getting on like a house on fire. In fact, I think we might be pals. And then nothing, don't hear from him again. And the last time it happened to me, the guy was out doing a job, and he said it was bigger than he anticipated, and he'd need to come back on Friday. He dropped me a message with the time. Well, Friday came, went, no message, nothing. He didn't reply to my messages. I was like, what the hell? And then I thought, wait a minute, maybe he's dead. No, not dead. He's still posting other jobs on Instagram. Anyway, I showed him, unfollowed the bastard. But I was thinking back, like, what did I do wrong? Like, going through it all in my head, like, why is this happening to me? So I went through, the scenario, and I was like, was it the way I introduced myself? I was quite clear about what my name was. I tried to have a bit of chat with him. Like, I said, there's a gerbil can have like 8 gerbils. I do not know. And I said to him, would you like a drink? Sometimes I forget to offer them a drink. I said, would you like a glass of water? And I told him like how much I liked water and stuff. I don't know. But one of the things he was doing for me was putting up stuff in the bathroom, like a cabinet, a towel rail, and a toilet roll holder. I told him, where to put everything, and then I just left him to it, and I stood outside the bathroom in case he needed me. And he did. He called me a while later and he said, are you sure that's where you want that toilet roll holder? I was like, I think so. I was doubting myself, so I had a closer look, and I was like, well then I sat down on the toilet and began to mind taking bits of toilet roll from that spot. Dead on, and I'm wondering, was that the moment he thought, do not engage? She's sitting on the toilet, mine and taking sheets of paper. The thing is, though, like, you asked me if I was sure. How else was I going to know? Like, maybe I took it too far when I started wiping more. But for fuck's sake, I thought we were pals. Quite thirsty, so I'll try and just... Listen, thanks very much. Hope you enjoyed that.